Number two, next agenda point, SBR changes. What the changes has made, and whatever the changes has made by the ACCA body with the SBR exams, that's applicable from September 23 exams. So about the SBR changes, what's the scope of discussion? What's the scope of discussion? Number one, we will cover what remain unchanged. Number two, what are the changes? Number three, based on these changes, what will be the possible requirements? Number four, ACCA practice material. Number five, about changes, ACCA exam focus points. Point number 2, 3, 4, 5, all about the changes. Key points remain unchanged. Syllabus content. Number 2, what the change? Exam structure of question bank. So I can say that the change has made related to exam structure of group accounts only. But there is no changes of the syllabus content of group accounts. Come on. In detail, remain unchanged. Question number 1, 30 marks question, remain unchanged. Majority marks related to groups between 20 to 25 marks as discussed earlier, just a couple of minutes ago. And remaining marks, other part of the syllabus. Further, remain unchanged. Syllabus content remain unchanged. Same group accounts include consolidated statement financial position, consolidated statement of comprehensive income, consolidated statement of cash flows, and specific accounting standards are these. That's already discussed with the syllabus content. And one more thing, still examiner particularly mentioned, there will never be the requirement to construct the complete consolidated financial statement. Still, that's remain unchanged. So these things are as it is as previous, but the point is that what are the changes? Format, exam structure of question number 1 in the SBR exam, it's going to change. Out of 30 marks question, 10 to 14 marks available for spreadsheet requirement, pre-populated spreadsheet requirement. Candidates will be presented with pre-populated spreadsheet response containing a draft consolidated financial statement. Like this. This is SBR Specimen 1. SBR Specimen 1. Specimen 1. That's published by ACCA, available on the CB platform. This is what the question. Main screen of the question. Just a basic structure of the question. Requirement include like C3, using pre-populated spreadsheet response option with exhibit 3. Exhibit 3 and your previous answer means whatever the pre-populated spreadsheet response, that is the pre-populated spreadsheet. This is pre-populated. That's some draft consolidated financial statement that's already made here. So, exhibit 3 and your previous answer. Adjust the spreadsheet. prepared by the director of Chuckle Company in order to prepare corrected consolidated statement of financial position. And spreadsheet take into account the following 4 points. I'm not discussing the technicalities of the question. 12 marks. So examiner will examine the question like this way. A spreadsheet, pre-populated spreadsheet will be available with a heading of working mentioned here. Examiner particularly mentioned that you need to make a working here. No need to make working on word processor. Means don't do that, copy paste the things on the word processor and then make a working on the word processor. No, don't do that. All adjustment that you need to make with the spreadsheet here, and all the working you need to make here, workings. Don't worry, with the SBR bootcamp in future, you will get one question, the SBR specimen one question. We will attempt and publish on the YouTube. Okay, so what are the changes? Question number 1, 10 to 14 marks, spreadsheet requirement. Candidates will be presented here. Presented. Pre-populated spreadsheet response option. Spreadsheet containing consolidated financial statement, either consolidated income statement or statement of comprehensive income or balance sheet, that's statement of financial position or the cash flow as well. Next, what are the possible requirements? 3 possible requirements. Either correction of errors, either some missing figures, and examiner may ask you that some correction that you have done or the missing figures you have identified, you need to discuss on with the question. You have to demonstrate your ability that whatever the correction we have made, whatever the missing figure we have identified, we have an ability to draft the answer, to explain the answer. So there are 3 possible requirements. So very simple. For example, you are doing the question A1, A2, B, C, what you have done. Based on these A, B, C requirement, you have identified some corrections. You have identified some missing factor. So with spreadsheet, you need to make some adjustment. Make some adjustment. Adjustment 1, 2, 3, 4. Make adjustment and redraft the consolidated balance sheet. For example, here goodwill is missing. You need to calculate the goodwill here. For example, this property plant equipment not includes the fair value adjustment. You need to put the fair value adjustment. So missing figures, correction of errors, and finally, examiner may require to explain the answer. So where we will explain our correction of errors or missing figures, the limited explanation. If the explanation is limited, you can write here. Otherwise, if the explanation is extensive, you will work out with the just explanation. You need to draft your answer on the word processor. So that's the point. So correction of errors. Here examiner, one of the requirement will ask candidates to correct this spreadsheet for a range of issues. In this style of requirement, candidates will have to adjust the consolidated accounts. And then candidates will have to deal issues such as errors, change in accounting policy, or like acquisition, disposal of subsidiaries. That's the possibility of errors. Missing figures. There may be unrecorded transactions that require recognition or adjustment. For example, some missing figures of goodwill, some missing figures of IS 19, IS 21 issues. Requirement about discussion In addition, candidates may have to discuss the impact on financial statement of these adjustments. For example, has parent investment in company now changed from subsidiary relationship of an asset? That's a discussion. Based on this error, so any relationship changes, for example, subsidy become associate becomes subsidy, or is or if and the vice versa as well. So these are the possible requirements. Conclusively, the accounting principle tested by the examination are not changing. No change of accounting principles. The change or examination is simply testing the same application of knowledge by using a spreadsheet format. And if you ask me, sir, how you see or how you observe about these changes with respect to student, what I personally think, now it's become more easier to catch the marks because it's something about more calculations. But you need to make practice about it. How much practice material available? That's the next discussion. Number one, two specimen questions available on the practice platform. Specimen 1, specimen 2. Specimen 1, it's something related to pre-populated balance sheet, pre-populated consolidated balance sheet. Specimen 2, it's about Hill Company, that's pre-populated consolidated cash flow. Mock exam, you have to attempt the mock exam. So 3 questions you can practice, plus you can practice with ACCA Study Hub. The ACCA Study Hub practice material, actually almost all of the practice questions, 5 to 6 more questions you can practice with pre-populated spreadsheet options. So you have good enough practice material. Exam focus point about these changes. Number 1, use the pre-formatted spreadsheet to answer the requirement, and question will explicitly state this. So use the spreadsheet to answer the requirement. It is examiner wording. It is advisable to use a spreadsheet to show workings, using the working area set out below the draft financial statement. Like this, it's already shared with you, already discussed with you. That's working. Highly recommendation. As usual, working should show clearly how adjustment to the spreadsheet have been arrived. This will help markers award credit where it is due. If student use Word documents, means if you just copy the spreadsheet aspects, all the spreadsheet data, and paste with the Word, paste on the Word, the candidates will not penalize, that you will avail the marks, but not recommended, because using one document, that is a spreadsheet, will save time. Candidates should be aware that it is not possible to copy paste working tables from Word to the spreadsheet. So ideally you have to make adjustment, all adjustment, need to make adjustment, correction of errors, and a little bit discussion as well, and all the workings on the spreadsheet. More exam focus point. Marks are awarded for, marks are not awarded for use of formula. This is not AFM exam. I will guide you about the exam formulas of a spreadsheet with AFM and FM, or candidates spreadsheet ability. So simple workings can be used. No expertise required in SBR for Excel functions or spreadsheet functions. Marker will review each spreadsheet cell for workings. Markers will continue to use existing principles to mock candidate response, such as own figure rule. Own figure rule. Own figure rule means, for example, there are five requirements. Sorry, there are five steps of the question. Five steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's applicable to all professional exams of ACC. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have done right the step 1. And all the steps are interrelated. Step 1 related to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. You have done right with the step 1. But you have done wrong with the step 2. And step 2 answer affect to the 3, 4, 5. So examiner will assume your wrong figure of step 2. And that figure called own figure rule. And then move to the step 3. If you have done right with the step 3 structures, all the structures are, you have performed right in a right way, you will get full marks. Same for step 4, 5. So any of the steps you have done wrong, examiner only deduct your mark with that particular step. This is called own figure rule. And finally, examiner particularly mentioned negative numbers in the spreadsheet. Negative number, for example, minus something, minus 100 will be displayed with a minus sign rather than bracket. So it's better, whatever you are doing, working, for example, 100 and then minus 20. So you have to mention minus 20 and then make a sum accordingly. So these are examiner verdicts. It's not mine. Negative numbers in the spreadsheet will be displayed with a minus sign rather than with bracket. So this is what all covered related to SBR changes.